accused killer Jodi Arias finally finished testifying in her own defense.
She has spent weeks on the witness stand answering questions from attorneys and the jury. Today, the prosecutor got one last chance to grill her.
I asked you, well, did the knife go in the bedroom? And you said, I don't know.
Another intense cross-examination of Jodi Arias by prosecutor Juan Martinez today. Trial observers are speculating whether he'll get the death penalty.
Well, after that gunshot, Arias repeated her claim today that she doesn't remember anything after the gunshot, including slashing Travis Alexander's throat or stabbing him 27 times. She claims this was all in self-defense, of course. Now, the question was whether the jury even believes this claim or whether they think she planned to kill Alexander. And Christine LaCroix is showing us that question is going to make the difference between life and death for Arias. Christine?
Well, that's right, Fields. A lot of people are speculating about that guilty verdict, whether she's going to get it and whether or not she's going to get the death penalty. And there have been a lot of comparisons between two cases tried by the prosecutor here, Juan Martinez, Arias' case, and then Wendi Andriano, who's accused of murdering her husband. Undoubtedly, there are a lot of similarities between these two women, but there are also a couple of key differences.
I asked you, well, did the knife go in the bedroom? And you said, I don't know.
Another intense cross-examination of Jodi Arias by prosecutor Juan Martinez today. Trial observers are speculating whether he'll get the death penalty he's after.
I think there's a very good chance that Jodi Arias could be the fourth woman sitting on death row.
Attorney Brent Kleinman has been following the case.
There's a lot of public perception that an attractive young female wouldn't be put to death in Arizona just because there's going to be jury sympathy.
But Martinez successfully prosecuted the case of another woman currently on death row, Wendi Andriano.
The defendant, Wendi Elizabeth Andriano, is sentenced to death.
Adriano was found guilty of the 2000 murder of her husband Joseph, who was poisoned, had his throat slit, and was hit 23 times in the head with a bar stool. Arias is accused of murdering ex-lover Travis Alexander. Martinez says she stabbed him multiple times, slit his throat, and shot him. So can Martinez get the death penalty for another woman?
Is Jodi Arias going to get the death penalty?
Well, that's going to be a very difficult thing for the jury to determine.
Kleinman says Martinez has done a good job laying the foundation for first-degree murder.
They've gone very far in showing the premeditation of this charge.
If the jury finds Arias guilty of first-degree murder, Martinez would attempt to prove during sentencing that Alexander's murder had aggravating factors worthy of the death penalty. Just what he did in the Adriano trial.
What's similar in the cases is both defendants took the stand to try and explain away what had happened, and both claimed there was an element of self-defense in it.
But there are also key differences with Adriano.
And the difference between this case and the Jodi Arias case is the fact that it's obvious that during the poisoning and the hitting with the bar stool, he was alive and aware of what was happening to him.
If the jury does not believe that Travis Alexander suffered before he died, Arias might not be sentenced to death.
And even though this was Arias' last day on the stand, it could be quite some time before we know anything about the death penalty. She'd have to be found guilty first of first-degree murder, then a sentencing hearing would likely be months later. Back to you.